to be of the soul. I hope you're all well. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. So I started an Instagram page for my 9-to-5 work, and because it's linked to the creative industry, I'd say my algorithm is on point because I follow so many talented creators and so many pages who display like great opportunities in the creative industry. So I was just looking through my feed one day and then the Moncler event pops up and I'm thinking, oh, like this looks interesting, this looks enticing, let me sign up, share it with some of my colleagues and share it with a couple of friends. So I did that, and yeah, that's how I found out about the event. And this was Moncler's description about the event. Distinct artistic worlds collide under one roof as Moncler's 2023 lineup of co-creators take over Olympia, London, bringing together their unique interpretations of genius. And it was so crazy. After I signed up for the event, I kept on seeing ads like everywhere. And my colleague Saskia, she was saying that she saw a YouTube ad for it not long after she signed up as well, and I just found that so crazy because it's like, saw it once and then it's like, was just seeing it everywhere. And like, what was their marketing budget? Because literally everyone was posting it by, like I saw different publications posting about it, like Complex, and I can't remember the others that I saw, but it was just everywhere. I was just like, wow. So before we got into the event, I was trying to find the venue and like find the queue, and I ended up going to the event with one of my friends, Lourdes. But because I was coming from work, I couldn't leave work until a bit later because I had to stay later that day. And I was just like, oh, it's a bit annoying because I wish I could have left earlier, get in the queue earlier. But luckily Lourdes was able to leave earlier than I was and join the queue. So when I got to Olympia, I was trying to find out like where she was or like where to join the queue. And then towards the entrance, it was just so confusing because there was so many different types of queues. There was like fast track, VIP, guest list. But luckily I spoke to someone from the Showsec team, and luckily Lourdes shared her location with me on WhatsApp. Like, thank God for WhatsApp live location, because if it wasn't for that, and if it wasn't for the guy like kind of pointing me in the right direction to get to her, I wouldn't have found her. Like, that would have been awful. But yeah, so I was literally walking from kind of like the Olympia entrance to find Lourdes in the queue. It was a trek. Like, there were people for days. Like, I cannot believe it. The queue was insane. And even when we were queuing up, we could still see people like walking past us, come and join it. Like, I can't even imagine what it was like being in the back of the queue. I'm just so glad like I wasn't in heels and I was comfortable in what I was wearing, because bruh, like, it was mad. Queuing these days now, I've just had enough. Like, it's so long, like for concerts, for anything, queuing is just, ugh. I just want to reach to the point in life when you're like, oh yeah, I'm guest list, or yeah, I'm a VIP, or yeah, like I've got the hookup to just, you know, come through the back, because the queuing life is enough. Like, I'm so over it, my back can't take it, I don't have the patience. But what I'm trying to do is like look at the benefits of situations, otherwise I'll just go insane. So I guess the benefits of queuing up for ages, I was able to catch up with my friend, able to see people's outfits and get fashion inspo, and you can see people coming out of the cars like with their photographers and taking pictures in the streets of London, and that was cool. I'm like, yes! People were slaying with their outfits and the posing, so that was cool. And then the queue would just be slowly moving, and then finally we got in. Imagine, I nearly didn't get in, you know, because we kind of had to go through like 2 different kind of checkpoints. Actually, no, like 3. So before we got into the venue, someone checked our tickets, and then someone checked our tickets again, like kind of before your security check, before your bags and stuff are checked. So I had my ticket up, and then when it was for the next person to check my ticket, I couldn't get back into my emails to get the ticket up, and I was thinking, oh my god, like I'm not gonna be able to get in. Like, it just wouldn't load. My 4G was a myth. Like, I think it's because there were so many people in the area, like it just wasn't gonna work. And I'm just like, why did I exit off of my email? So I was like, damn. And then at first the woman was like, no, you like need to get the ticket up, you can't get in, kind of thing. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. And I kept on trying it, nothing. And then all of a sudden she just asked me, she was like, did you go through and like, was your ticket checked just before? And I was like, yeah, I showed it to the guy. And then she let me through, and I'm just like, thank God she wasn't one of those people who's like a stickler for the rules. because if she was, like, I wouldn't have been able to get in because my ticket just was not loading, and I was just like, oh, thank God. So we walked through, like, went through like another security point, and they just like checked our bags and stuff like that. And you could see from that area, from that viewpoint, you could see the kind of red carpet section. So that's like where all the, I guess, VIPs, celebrities, and all of those kind of people would have gone. And that was cool to just kind of, I don't think I saw anyone taking pictures, but I could see the whole kind of setup at that moment. I was just like, yes, we made it, we got in. I was just like, it's one step closer to seeing what this is all about. So this was my first time at Olympia. It's a really cool venue, I like it. And when we walked in, there were these 2 silver walls, and people were taking pictures and videos by there. So me and my friend, we were taking pictures by there and videos as well. And my friend noticed MIsha B. She's like, oh my God, is that MIsha B? And I was like, oh my God, it is. I was like, gas, because I love her. Like, I've loved her since she was on X Factor. When she was on X Factor, I was in secondary school at the time, and people at school always used to be like, oh my gosh, Sabri, you guys look so alike. Some people would even be like, you even sound the same. And that's when I knew they were going too far, because like, she has a Manchester accent, I don't have a Manchester accent, we clearly don't sound the same. But I could see what people meant when they say that we used to look alike. Now I don't really see it anymore, but yeah, like, she is gorgeous. So yeah, we took some pictures, and then we went into the main space, and we could see her again. So I was like really shy, but I wanted to go out to her. And one thing about Lourdes, she's gonna encourage me to go out to people and like speak to them, get a picture, whatever. Sometimes I don't care, I'm just gonna go out to the person, like, got nothing to lose. And then other times I'm like super shy and awkward and anxious. There's no in between, it's either one or the other. So yeah, I went up to her, and she was so lovely, like gave me a hug. She was like, you smell good. And I was like, thank you. I was like, I love you so much. And then yeah, I took like a couple of pictures with her, or selfies. And then yeah, just like started to experience the whole immersive experience. But that was super cool. Like, I didn't expect to bump into her. Okay, so before the event, I'm looking at Moncler's social media posts, and they have descriptions for each of the different immersive experiences. So there were 9, and we experienced 3 out of 9, I believe. So the first one that we experienced was Adidas Originals times Moncler, and that was called The Art of Elements, I believe. No, The Art of Exploration. So the description is, ignite the senses and open the mind on a journey from city to summit. Venture together into fresh spaces and altogether new territories. So yeah, I feel like the Adidas one was kind of one of the first experiences that you saw straight away, because when you walked in, it was the only one that was kind of like open. The others you had to like go inside somewhere. So that was really captivating. And then you're kind of questioning to yourself like, oh, are these actual models? Like, what's going on here? And then you might see like a slight movement, and you just see like everyone getting their phones out and taking pictures and videos. And I was like, this is so cool. 2 out of the 3 experiences that we witnessed had models. And I feel like the Adidas Originals models had the hardest job, because they literally just had to like stand like statues, and God knows how long they were standing there for. Like, I commend them, because yeah, that would be like, I could just imagine the pain. And then you almost have to be like in character as well. Like, you can't really be like kiki, and you can't be moving mad. Like, you just have to stand there and model and pose. There was just this one model who I was just drawn to. Like, I don't even know why. I just loved his look, like loved the way he was posing. He looked good. But yeah, visually, that whole Adidas experience just looks so sick. It was just these big blocks of like boxes, and then all the models would be in different positions, in different outfits, and yeah, they all did a good job. Shout out to the Adidas Originals team and everyone who was involved in that whole immersive experience. A reimagined peep show painted a new picture of love as voyeurs interacted with lovots. Small Japanese robots invited by Fujiwara Hiroshi to bring joy and affection to the Art of Genius guests. Dressed in miniaturized puffers, the lovots and their handlers presented a first glimpse of the upcoming Moncler times FRGMT collection. So as soon as we walked in, it was like we were just transported into another dimension. Like, the music was really cool. the music for The Art of Love, please do let me know. So yeah, we walked in and there were these models and these robots, and it was just like you could peep in to like just watch them interact. It's like you were kind of like at a zoo watching animals like in their natural habitat or whatever. So you could just see the models walking around, interacting with the robots, passing the robots to the audience so that they could like kind of interact with them as well. And the robots were so cute, like they had their little puffers on, their Moncler puffers. I'm just like, wow, they're more dripped out than I am or than anyone else is. But yeah, they look really good, and the models were on point as well. Like the way they would interact with the robots was so cute. But it was very futuristic and very like, oh, I wonder if there's some predictive programming going on here. Like, is this what our future's gonna be like? A robot's gonna be our friend? Like, what's going on? I wish I got to get closer to the robots and touch them because they were actually so cute. So after The Art of Love, we went back into like the whole massive main space and we're just taking more pictures. And behind us, you could see the Rock Nation immersive experience. And I'm so annoyed I didn't get to experience that one. It was really confusing, like to know where to go. Like the signage was really bad. And then there were queues for some of the exhibitions as well. So it's just kind of like you were just going wherever kind of thing. But I feel like there could have been more descriptions as to what each room featured, and then yeah, people could have been like directed better. But yeah, we were just taking pictures around that area, and then I was even approached by a photographer to take some pictures of me, which was super cool. And then yeah, he took some pictures, but I stupidly didn't ask for his name or his socials, so I don't know what those pictures look like. And if you're the photographer who took the picture of me and you happen to come across this video, please get in contact with me. The Art of Imagination by Mercedes Benz. A surreal low-gravity chamber unveiled Project Mondo G, a pufferized art piece that rotated in an imaginary universe orbited by aerial dancers. So Lourdes noticed that another exhibition was starting, so she was like, oh, let's go over there and see it. So we went over and it was just like, oh, this is interesting. And there was like a countdown and this really dramatic music. And then the veil was lifted and then we see this Mercedes Benz and it was sick. So it was like all the wheels, and on the top of it, on the top of the truck, it was all like puffed out, which kind of mimics the whole Moncler puffer jacket vibe. So that was super cool. And then it was just rotating and rotating. And then as the veil's being lifted as well, you can see these dancers coming out of these holes like all around. And then the way they would move was just so beautiful and seamless and flowy. And I really liked the music as well. Like it felt like you were in space. And again, it was just like you were transported into another dimension. And because it was like so repetitive as well, not in a bad way, like it was really captivating, but because of the repetition, it was just like you were being hypnotized kind of thing. And I get like car sick, sometimes I feel a bit of motion sickness on the train as well, and I definitely cannot do rides that spin. So because of the kind of spinny movement, it was kind of making me feel a bit sick, but it was still so cool to watch. And then my friend was like, she's like, do you think someone's gonna get out of the car? And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even like think about that. I didn't even clock that. It was a good thought from her end, but no one got out of the car. But I thought that would have been sick if someone did. And I felt so bad because someone asked me to like move towards the end because they wanted to get a picture like of the in front of the Mercedes Benz. But then as they took the picture, like the veil had come back down and I felt so bad. But they should have just asked me to move, or I shouldn't have stayed at the front for so long and like given them a chance to take a picture. But I didn't know that they wanted to until they asked me. But yeah. The Art of Elements by Salehe Bembury. Moncler genius co-creator at Salehe Bembury's gravitational pull and style was manifested by an immersive room inspired by nature's elements. Models in the space debuted Salehe's debut ready-to-wear collection and hotly anticipated take on the signature Moncler tail grip sneaker. I think this might have been my favourite immersive experience that we witnessed, because we walked in and then you could just see like the earthy red tones, and I love that color. Like, I think it's so beautiful. And then you could just see like the models walking around, and I feel like all of the models had such a captivating, striking look. Like, they were just so mesmerizing. And then the way they were just interacting with the sand and with the whole kind of planet, it looked like Mars. And then yeah, they were just walking around, like even like performing for the audience. It really reminded me of GCSE drama. You know, like when your drama teacher would be like, set a scenario and then force you to improvise. Like, it really reminded me of that. But yeah, the models were giving, and I got some good shots as well. Like, one of the models, he like came down, sat in front of me and like looked into the camera. I was like posing. His fit was fire. But yeah, the way he was modeling everything, like, he made me want to have every single thing that he was wearing. And that's not even my style like that, but he was on point. And then there was another guy as well who looked into the camera, which was a sick shot. I can't remember their names, but I'm gonna put them on the screen, because when I did my post on my work page, I like tagged some of the ones that I found. So yeah, I'll put them on the screen. But yeah, all of them killed it. And I got some nice pictures and videos of that room. I thought the music was cool, but I feel like they should have incorporated more elements. So I feel like I heard a lot of like tweeting noises, like birds. But I don't really feel like birds are an element. So it should be, I feel like the sound should have been water, fire, air, and earth. And I feel like there was kind of this, like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's a bassy sound which was kind of reminded me of like air and wind. I don't know how to describe it. So yeah, it would have been cool to have some more water sounds, or like maybe like rumbling to kind of signify earth. But maybe there was, and I just wasn't in there long enough. But I just heard a lot of birds tweeting. But if you know who did the music, please let me know in the comment section so I can credit them. The Art of Dreaming by Alicia Keys. Moncler Genius co-creator at Alicia Keys brought out London's at Little Simz and at Gal Like Cleo for an awe-inspiring live set of anthems in front of 10,000 guests at Monday's The Art of Genius event. All three artists introduced key looks from the upcoming Moncler x Alicia Keys collection, inspired by 90s streetwear and her hometown of New York City, launching March 23rd. So we asked the security guard when and where the performance was going to be, and he was like, it's now. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I hope we haven't missed it. So we went into the performance area, and luckily we hadn't missed it. I was like, whew. So yeah, there was a huge crowd already, so couldn't like be at the front or anything. But my friend wanted to go further in, but I think going further in is such a scam. I feel like if you're not at the very front, then you might as well just go further back. Well, especially me as a short person. So she went further in and I just stayed back a bit. And I'm glad that I stayed where I was, because I feel like I had a good view. And everything was pretty timely, but it's mad because I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if Alicia Keys was gonna perform. I was thinking, is Pharrell gonna perform? Like, I just didn't know what was really going on. And I remember Saskia, she like strongly believed that Alicia Keys was gonna perform. And I had a look at her, I think her stories, either the day before the event or the day of, hers and Pharrell's, and I could see that they were like promoting the event, commenting on Moncler's post. I was thinking, okay, like, it's looking likely that they're gonna be there, but I still didn't know what to expect. So then, yeah, you just see like the dramatic red lights and a really nice intro. And then it was Alicia Keys, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening right now? Like, is this actually real? Her whole thing was called The Art of Dreaming, and it literally felt like I was in a dream. Like, I was just having an out-of-body experience. And the thing is, like, I grew up on Alicia Keys, so I remember watching videos like the Falling video on MTV Base, and I love more of her old stuff. So when she was in London recently, like, I didn't think to myself, oh my god, I have to go and see her. And like, I'll like the odd song here and there of like the later stuff that she's released, but I always forget, like, even if that's the case, you should still go and see them if you like their old stuff, because more time they're still gonna perform their old stuff. And I don't know why that always like escapes my mind. But anyway, so yeah, like now that I saw her perform, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I need to go and see her next time she comes to London. So hopefully I can hear even more of her old stuff. I love this arrangement of No One. I was like, okay, with the reggae vibe, I see. Yeah, that was sick. And then just seeing the whole screen at Olympia, the quality was on point. I was just like, wow, it's crystal clear. And then the lighting was just so beautiful. Like everything was just on point. And I really loved that arrangement that she did. I love what the drummer did there. And then she transitioned into a reggae arrangement of You Don't Know My Name. And I was like, ooh, I love this. I'm liking this. It was sick. And then it got me thinking, like, how cool would it have been if she did Ghetto Story? That song had me in a chokehold when I was younger. But yeah, if she did Ghetto Story, that would have been sick. It would have fitted so perfectly with the reggae vibe that she was doing. And it also got me thinking as well, like, I would love to hear like a reggae project from her. I feel like that would do really well. I love the band and BVs. I can't find them anywhere. Like I was trying to look through Alicia Keys' socials to see if she's like ever tagged her band and her BVs in any of her performances, but I didn't scroll down that far back. But I was scrolling to try and have a look. I couldn't find it. I was like Googling it, looking at her tiny desk to see if those were like the same performers. But yeah, I still couldn't find anything. But if anyone knows who they were on that night, please do let me know. The dancers, they could obviously dance, but I expected more from them. Like I wanted better choreography.
The art of genius, we're celebrating the collection, the capsule collection of myself and Moncler, and it's all about the women tonight.
It's mad because obviously when Alicia Keys was doing her little intro, she was talking about women. Like the song Woman was obviously playing in the background, the band started playing it, but it didn't register to me. Like, this is Woman by Little Simz and Cleo Soul, and that Little Simz is gonna come out in a second. Like, it just didn't register. So when she like said her name, when Little Simz came out, I just lost it. Like the whole crowd went wild. It was again, how I said before, how her thing's called The Art of Dreaming, and I felt like I was in a dream. This was just reinforcing that. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is not happening right now. Like, I never expected to see those two on stage together. And a Little Simz, she is just a sick performer. Her stage presence is brilliant. She sounds exactly like she does on the record. She can perform. Then I didn't expect Cleo Soul to come out either. So like when she came out, I lost it again. I was like, nah, this is definitely a dream. Like someone wake me up, someone pinch me now. Like, nah, it was crazy. Like Cleo Soul, like I don't understand. I was so gassed because I went to see her last year. When I do my commentary about that night, I'll go into it more detail. And then I missed out on tickets for her May show this year. So I was just so upset, and it's mad because I was literally having a conversation with someone the day before talking about how I was so upset that I missed out on tickets. I did not expect to see her perform live the next day. So to actually see her come out and perform, I was like, oh my God. Alicia Keys, Little Simz, Cleo Soul on stage together. I never expected it, but it works so well. Like the sick trio, like you see their chemistry, they look good together on stage. Like we need a collab. I don't know whose choice it was, if it was Alicia's choice or like someone in the Moncler team or someone in Alicia's team who decided to have Little Simz and Cleo Soul come out. But it was such a good choice. So after they performed Woman, I didn't expect them to still be on stage together. I thought, okay, like they're probably just gonna come out for Woman and then it's just gonna be Alicia Keys for the rest of the show. But no, Alicia Keys gave us more with them. I was just like, I'm not worthy, like, wow. So after they performed Woman, they performed A Woman's Worth. Like it transitioned from Woman to A Woman's Worth. The transition was sick. Hearing Cleo sing that song was so beautiful. Her tone, oh, Her tone was everything. And then I thought they were gonna go into the chorus for A Woman's Worth, but then Little Simz started rapping. And I don't know if it was a freestyle or a song of hers, because I was trying to like look today to see what song it was, but I couldn't find it. So either I didn't look properly, or it was a freestyle. But if anyone knows, let me know. But I was sick, just the way they kept on transitioning. It worked really well.
Off to cry and live it right. And no time for stressing, no, we here just for the vibes.
And then after the three of them performed that song, I think Simz went off stage then, yeah. And then Alicia Keys gave us more, and her and Cleo Soul performed When I'm in Your Arms. And I was just like, that's like probably my favorite Cleo Soul song. That and Shine, probably.
In the streets of New York.
I wasn't familiar with that first song that she was playing at first. I was like, oh, this is a nice jazzy vibe. But then when I got home and when I was watching the footage back, I researched what song it was, and I was like, how did I miss this? Because on that same project, like I have the Unbreakable live version that she did, and then the transition from Streets of New York. Is it called Streets of New York? Let me double check. Yeah, it's called Streets of New York. So the transition from Streets of New York to Empire State of Mind, wow. So clever, so creative, on point. And then the lighting, oh my gosh, like that lighting in that venue is something else. It's so stunning. And everyone just went crazy, and it was so sick. And then I like how she adapted the words where she said London. After Alicia Keys' performance, I went kind of like by the sound and lighting tech area in the back side of the venue. It's kind of near where I was standing. And then I told like Lourdes that I was there. And then we were just like fangirling out to each other, like, oh my God, I can't believe what we just saw. Like, we were just going crazy. And then I was just like, Cleo Soul, like, I can't believe we actually saw Cleo Soul. I can't believe we saw Little Simz. And then Lourdes was telling me how she got tickets. I was like, what, you got tickets for the May show? I didn't get tickets. And then after Alicia Keys' set, there were these DJs that were performing, but I'm not sure what their names were. So if anyone knows, please let me know. And then there was like, we noticed that there were 2 bars, and it's like we only noticed at the end. But I just got water, and then I know Lourdes got an alcoholic drink. So then that was cool. Like that was all free as well. Like Moncler really went all out for this event. And then just went to the toilets. We were queuing for ages for the toilet. It's mad how like with the girls' toilets or the women's toilets, there's always these massive queues, and then you just see the guys just like walking, and I'm just like, the disparity, like the contrast is mad. After we went to the toilet, we then went back out into like the main area part, and then we're just looking around. We saw the boiler room, but there was like a massive queue for that. And I don't even know if the other exhibitions or the other immersive experiences were still open. I have no idea. And then we asked one of the security guards if Pharrell was performing, but then they were like, no, that's it for performances for tonight. So then yeah, after that we just went home. And then towards the end of the like exit, I wanted to take a picture by like the Art of Genius sign, but I'd already like walked out, and they have this rule where you can't go back in like once you're out. So I tried to step back in, the security just like, no, like in unison, like they were not playing at all. But yeah, like it was just such an incredible night. I'm still on a high, like I can't believe it was, I went on Monday and filming this on Sunday, so it was nearly a week ago now, and I cannot believe it. Like I'm still gassed. And yeah, just can't believe I saw Alicia Keys, Little Simz, and Cleo Soul all in one night. I feel like with Alicia Keys' performance, she had some moments where she wasn't vocally the best, but other times she was vocally on point, and overall I enjoyed her performance. The same with Cleo Soul, she had some moments that weren't her best, and then she had other moments where she shone. And I was speaking to one of my aunties yesterday, and every time like people tend to catch up with me, they're like, oh, you got any concerts coming up, or But I didn't tell her the ones that I had coming up. I just told her the ones like that I had been to. And I was telling her about this. She was like, oh my God. Like, she loves Alicia Keys. I remember back in the day as well, we used to sing her music together. So yeah, it was cool to like tell her about that and relive the moment. I sent her a little clip. And then she was telling me about Alicia Keys' book. And I was like, I didn't even know she had a book out. But the way she was describing it to me, I was like, oh, this sounds very interesting. I have to check it out. So I'm gonna upload the concert footage in a separate video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. You know when you're like on a post-event high, when I've experienced like excellence, something that's just like made me feel so many different emotions, made me feel so happy. Like I have to research who was involved in this. So I was on like Instagram looking at Moncler stories, like finding out everyone who was involved, and it was so cool to be exposed to people that I hadn't heard before and see all that went into like making this. Even today when I was doing research for this video, I discovered new things and new people that were involved that I didn't realize, and there's still some people that I don't know because I couldn't find everyone. I was just like, wow, like shout out to the agencies involved, the videographers, photographers, editors, event assistants at Olympia, just everyone involved. Like, yeah, I just find it so fascinating what you can do with space and just how you can transform it into so many different things. Yeah, I just left feeling so inspired, so rejuvenated, just so much creativity in the space. And it was mad, like when looking on TikTok and socials, like there was so many celebrities who were there and I didn't even see these people. But I recognized M. Huncho because obviously he's got a very distinctive mask. So I feel like when I looked up kind of towards the end as we were about to leave, I definitely saw him. But yeah, with the other celebrities that I saw like on socials, I was like, I did not see you guys. Something really tickled me as well. I don't know why Moncler did this. But like on the day of the event, people were like messaging like, oh, can I get a ticket? Or commenting on their page, like, how can I get a ticket? Does my ticket get like a +2 or is it just 1? Like people just asking questions. And then whoever is like managing Moncler's socials, they'll be like, hello, we have sent you a DM about this. And Paige Mariah, she was like, is there any way to still attend this in person? And then Moncler were like, hello, we have sent you a DM about this. And then you'd think that if someone's going to send you a DM about this, they're probably going to give you instructions about how you can still attend. But then someone else commented and they were like, what was their response? And then Paige is like, watch it online. I don't know why, that just tickled me. It made me laugh so much because I'm just like, why did they need to go and DM you that? Like, couldn't they just reply and be like, watch it online, or unfortunately you're not able to attend the event in person, you can only watch it online now. But it just killed me. It made me laugh so much. All the other immersive experiences that we didn't get to see look so cool. Like Pharrell's one looks sick because it was like you walk into this space and it's like the models are all around you and it's almost like you can kind of like be with them, like kind of different to the Salehe one, because like you were kind of boxed. There was like a kind of like box separating you from them, whereas with Pharrell's one it was like you were in and amongst the models, so that would have been cool to see. And then obviously like the Rock Nation one because that's music related, and then there was the Rick Owens one. I saw someone do a TikTok about it and that looks sick as well. And what were the others? Oh, the Palm Angels and the Foam Party. You could kind of see the Foam Party from the outside, but I didn't go in because there was quite a big queue for that. If you went, what was your favorite immersive experience and why? If you didn't go but you saw stuff on socials, what do you think looked the best? Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will be posting the concert footage as well in a separate video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. Bye. Right, just doing some audio testing because I can like hear very like high pitched buzzing noise and I don't know if that's gonna come across when I'm doing post-production. So yeah, let me listen back now. Right, testing. I think I realized what the cause of the sound issues were. It's because my ring light was in front of the camera and it was making this crazy beeping sound, but now it seems to be a lot better. But now is the lighting for it. I feel like the see has changed now that I've moved the ring light behind the camera. Let me see if I can like improve it even more. But I think I just turned, and I think I just need to turn it up a bit. Oh child, behind the scenes. Alright, audio test part 3. I think the sound will be better now because I was just listening to it again and the sound sounded really quiet. So now I've moved the decibels up to 20. It's like I've completely forgotten how to like set up a mic and stuff because I haven't filmed since April. It's like, oh, it's mad. But I think this should be okay now. Let me double check. Is it recording? And then we see this BMW, not BMW. Ciao. Sorry, Mercedes. This fit was fire. So my stomach is rumbling. I hope it's not picking up on camera. But I always forget, like, even if that's the case, I can't speak. Oh my God.